maybe in school they were told you start studying science, maths only, then they were sent to coachings, and then coaching they were told that you study like this, you have to go to IITs. Now you have reached IIT. So once you have reached here, just now do whatever you feel like doing. Instead of again somebody telling you, oh, you need placement, you start coding from today.
CGPA is important for placements.
Interesting, nobody asked me this.
So do you believe that AI can replace humans?
If you really want to do something, you'll just do something. Right? They used to call that a young IIT. When I joined here, this is the young IIT. Those few October and November, I would feel like I'm already in a hill station. Morning breeze will be really very cold, and nice weather.
Windows or Apple? Someone who has just joined, who has no idea of technology, who is not at all a tech savvy. So what is your advice to a person like that? Hi everyone, on today's episode of Achievers Unplugged, we have a star faculty from CS department of IIT Ropar, Dr. Shashi. So I am Lakshay and we are going to dive into a deep interview and conversation with him. Thank you for joining us. So I want you to give about yourself a brief introduction, like your PhD stuff and what kind of areas are you interested in the computer science department?
Okay, right. So I'm Shashi, as you know. I mostly work in artificial intelligence. Currently, I am interested in reinforcement learning. I'm working a lot with drones.
Okay.
I'm particularly interested in multi-drone systems. To go in a bit of background, I did my PhD, which was on multi-robot systems actually, from IIT Guwahati. Then I spent a few months in Bangalore in a tech lab. And then I moved to Singapore.
Okay.
So Singapore I stayed quite a bit. I stayed 2.5 years almost. I worked on big data there. We designed a very interesting system which you can say a very large multi-scale system. While I was in Singapore, somehow one of my friend who was in Israel, and he was returning to India, and he was trying out interviews across IITs.
Okay.
And then he told me that, this IIT Ropar's form is out, why don't you fill it up? And usually, whenever you go to fill these forms for faculties across IITs, those are very long and lengthy forms. Right?
Okay.
You really have to write all your life story and, every paper and every research, everything you have done. Interestingly, IIT Ropar's form was just 1 page. Very quickly, like within 1 hour you can fill it up. Like that was the most attractive part about it. I filled it up, got a call, and then the whole process happened. And then I'm here. So that's about me.
So, that is what we talked about IIT Ropar. How do you feel IIT Ropar welcomes new professors like you? Like you had just joined teaching department or stuff like that. How was IIT Ropar? Was it welcoming for you?
It was very welcoming.
Okay.
Yes. I was one of the fortunate ones who, when joined, we had already moved to the main campus. Right? So I didn't have to have those struggle days from our transit campus, right? So yes, so that was good for me. And plus, when you join the department, you get a very nice office. You get some amount of funding to set up your office, so you can buy your favorite PC, your printers, and you can get settled here. Along with that, the institute also offers you a startup research grant.
Okay.
So you write a small proposal, you submit, there is a process. But you get a good amount of funding again to procure some equipment and to kickstart your research.
Okay.
With all this, at IIT Ropar, you get, I think, the highest priority to get a PhD student when you have recently joined.
It is among the top research, colleges in India.
Right. So these are the things. As a new faculty, when you join, it's very difficult to set up everything, right?
Yeah.
But because the whole environment here is so supportive that you get your equipment very quickly, you get some money, some grant also very quickly, and there is also student, because without student it's very difficult to kickstart research. You need a team. So yeah, all those then helps.
Okay.
At IIT Ropar.
Are you currently a part of any project? Like you have any project running?
Yes, there are multiple projects actually. There's a project I'm doing with ISRO where
Wow.
we are trying to develop a drone swarm-based radar system.
Ultra talented professors.
So yeah, we got that project last year. Then there are two projects I'm doing with different TIH, which is the technological incubation hubs. Again, both of them are also on drones. So on one project, we are trying to provide an immersive experience to the user using a drone, for doing inspection and surveys. Another project is more technological, where we are looking into how we can do precision landing of drones, basically.
Okay.
There are a few more in pipe. So there is a project again in pipe where I will be developing a system which will try to manage multiple drones from a single ground control station.
Okay.
So yes, there are two more projects where I'm involved as co-PI. I'm also looking into human in the loop machine learning systems, Dr. Shweta.
Okay.
And I'm looking into machine compression for IoT devices with Dr. Sudipta. So yes, these are the
How
kind
do you
of
manage
projects.
courses, research scholars under you if you are part of so many projects?
Yes, so yeah, there are more things that I didn't tell you yet, but yes. So what I find is, if you are interested and if you really want to do few things, you will find time.
Yeah.
Right. So yes, somewhere we collaborate. I just focus on my part of the thing, and then there are other parts and other components that is handled by my colleagues.
Okay.
And that way we manage, and definitely student helps. So I have a set of PhD students.
Okay.
They work. Actually, they are the people who are working in the lab, actually working with the drones. So this way everything gets settled and sorted.
Okay. So you had also been a faculty advisor for BOAST, the club for the total head of the clubs for technology and stuff. So how had been your experience so far?
So when I had joined BOAST almost 2 years ago, the clubs were struggling because it was still COVID period. It was not over.
Painful.
And because of that, the club activities were severely affected.
Everything was online though.
Yes, everything was online. Although we did try to conduct, our Aditya online during those times.
Okay.
So clubs were trying, right? But then in 2022 we were returning, right? We came, everything. We are trying to make it normal. But even till this last semester, there were effects of COVID that was still there in the system. So that was most challenging. But again, I think it is you students, everybody pulled it off together very nicely.
And it was a grand festival, I feel. It was really nice. Like, I hear from people that Zeitgeist didn't get this much participation. For all those who don't know, Zeitgeist is a cultural festival of IIT Ropar and Advitya is a technical festival. Advitya pulled up, great participation. It is all thanks to you.
No, not to me, but to the team. I think Aditya had a really great team. Aditya was the OC, Naviket, Harshit, and many.
I was a part of it too.
Yeah. So the team was really great. They really worked day and night together. Even Mehul, sorry, I missed him as well. They really worked. They put in a lot of effort.
Like, I remember there was this meeting at 10:30 or 11 p.m. in the night, and it was, starking winters, and you joined us there, and I was like, why would a professor join us at this time in the night? And he was talking about stuff, and we had great minutes. And in fact, you once in a meeting said कि अगर और कुछ नहीं हो रहा and people are not finding any other stuff great, DJ ही लगवा दो तीनों दिन and enjoy.
Yes. So this is one thing I told actually Aditya, that I don't want that we really struggle to bring in participation across 3 days in all the events that you're doing. I told him very clearly that I want this fest for IIT Ropar students first, and then
the priority is IIT Ropar students.
Yes. So whatever the students wants to that, I really want IIT Ropar students to enjoy and feel like it is their fest.
Correct.
Then we will go outside. And yeah, they understood
We pulled
this.
it off well,
Yes,
right?
yes, they did it well.
One thing I want to talk about is the technical clubs of IIT Ropar. We have so many clubs like coding club, software club, and then we have clubs like Zenith and stuff. So, how can you bring so many facilities on the table for a first yearite? Like when a first yearite joins, he's very confused with technical club. Like after JEE preparation, we are not sure whether we need to do coding or software development or IITA cluster, the AI club that we are trying to revive. What suggestion do you mention to a new, someone who has just joined, who has no idea of technology, who is not at all a tech savvy? So, what is your advice to a person like that?
So first advice would be to explore as much as possible. So you have a very nice period of this ISMP events happening. Going on for 2 weeks to 3 weeks, right? Where every club tries to present what they are, what they do. So you explore a lot and then make a choice. But then I'll also suggest that you don't try to participate in all the clubs.
Okay.
After those 2-3 weeks, after the initial exploration, you find a club which somehow really speaks to your heart.
Okay.
It may be difficult. And another, see, I know mostly the students coming to IITs, they have been just told what to do and they're following it. So, maybe in school they were told you start studying science, maths only, then they were sent to coachings, and then coaching they were told that you study like this, you have to go to IITs. Now you have reached IITs. So once you have reached here, just now do whatever you feel like doing. Instead of again somebody telling you, oh, you need placement, you start coding from today.
Yeah, this is one line that is very famous in the first year. Like the day a student enters, everyone is like coding kar do, and now we feel the need to wipe off coding, like such a menial job, because of the recession that has hit us so hard. Like every IIT is struggling with the placements and stuff. So do you really think that we did lack talent, or we did lack the direction to work on? Because everyone is doing the repetitive stuff that everyone, even GPT can replace it. So what are the possible problems that we face, and what are the possible solutions that we can work upon?
See, the biggest problem, again with respect to clubs, if I tell you, if everybody doesn't want to code, that is one thing. They are doing coding because somehow they have been told that because of this you will be able to crack interviews and all. And that mostly doesn't happen. Again, you can see, otherwise everybody would be receiving very high packages, right? So what is being asked, or what company actually again look into you, right? Coding is just like you clearing a math exam for JEE, right? It is not much more than that. Now 2 months of just some serious practice will help you.
And that to questions.
Right? But companies are also interested that how are you as a person, what kind of leadership roles do you possess, what kind of interpersonal skills you have, what kind of team skills you have.
Correct.
They are looking for such kind of qualities, which they can see. If companies just come here and everybody is just coder, they are not much interested.
I feel that
next time.
When a person is in a competitive exam like JEE, entire day he is just studying in a room. There's zero interaction. Like qualities you mentioned, a person cannot harness. But college like ours, IIT Ropar, provides ample facilities. Like you mentioned about the leadership roles in Advitiya. Like people are hesitant. So what is your take on that? Like the same.
So
thing
that is what that is my message to all the students as well. Like you come out of it, right? Instead of listening your seniors or your parents or your I don't know whom, that you do coding, you do interview preparation from day one, do this, you just find where you enjoy things. Join those clubs, right? Do well in those things, and when actually the companies come, just tell them what you have done and they will be happy with that only, right? Because then you will do very good projects, and your projects will start speaking for you. Your CV would look much better if you add projects that you have done with the clubs of your interest, the volunteering that you have done in different aspects, the kind of different leadership roles that you have done. then that makes your CV rich,
correct.
not the certificates.
So I have recently found that everyone, once you are done with the course, don't even mention about the course, just post the certificate on LinkedIn and that is done. Like this is a very myth that is being rumored around.
Yes.
So now some personal level discussion. Tell us about your childhood. How did you develop a role, an interest for computers and stuff where you have reached today?
Interesting. Nobody asked me this. Going very back, not sure how I developed the interest, but maybe way back I was class 4th, 5th, 6th, and I got to hear a lot about computers.
Okay.
So I remember, I don't know, so I must be in class 5th or 6th, and then we were entering into the new millennium.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm that was. So there was this problem that everybody started talking about, which is this 2K problem. So the computers that time were not designed to take this entry of 2000 after 99, because it becomes 00, and so all the banking system, and it was in the news and everywhere, and everybody was talking about this problem, and finally they resolved that instead of entering 00, you start entering 2K,
Okay.
which is 2000, right? And then then we started writing. So I remember in those times in schools, we have to mention the year. We'll mention 2K, then 2K1, 2K2 instead of 2001 and 2002. So this sparked some interest in me during school days, that what is this and why it is happening with computers. Then whenever any program, so yeah, I didn't had access to a lot, no internet, not a lot of
That
internet had come. Internet was there. Google had come in 99, so it was just around the corner, but we didn't had access. I didn't had any access. Obviously no smartphones,
that goes without saying.
so the only source of all other kind of information was TV. Okay, so I remember those times there used to be some shows about technology, about colleges, about this, and I used to watch them. So somehow with all this interest grew, and then during those periods, the computers were coming to the schools.
Oh.
So even in my school, they were setting up a new room with air conditioning. So air conditioning used to be very big during those days.
In fact, it was in my time too. The only air conditioned room was the room with computers.
Yes. So same for us also. So I remember computer had come to the school and they had put a lab with computers, but they didn't start the course because they didn't have the faculty or the teacher for that. So we used to go and see, okay, these are the computers, one day we'll work there. But very late, I think I was in class 8th or so, and then finally we got to touch the computer, and somehow maybe because for last 2-3 years at that time I was so much interested or listening about computer, or wherever I hear about computer I'll read about it or listen more about it. So I very naturally get attracted to the course on computer during that time in school. So in between periods, if I get any time, you will find me in the computer lab. And so those days, whatever commands that were MS-DOS commands and all that were taught to us, I'll be teaching to other class students and all. So that way it kept on growing, the interest kept on growing. So by the time I was finishing school, it was very much clear to me that whatever I want to do, it is going to be in computers. Did my BTech in IT. When I was finishing IT, mostly people will go for all coding roles. I was also pretty good at coding. I was doing a lot of projects.
What languages did you have back then?
I remember, you may not have heard. So the first language that I coded on was Fox Pro.
Okay.
This used to be a language. A visual language, a very interesting one, but even I don't remember the syntax now. So, but Fox Pro was the one. Then I went to college. I started coding on Visual Basic.
Okay.
Created some systems, and interestingly, I didn't had my own computer, personal computer or laptop.
Oh.
But I'll go to the lab. I'll spend.
That would have been difficult, right?
See, those days, your age, right? If you really want to do something, you'll just do something, right? As you yourself were mentioning, right? Weekends you'll spend here instead of going to Chandigarh. So you don't think about what is available, not available. You want to do, you will just do it. So same was with me. whatever was available. So at least college labs were available. So you would find me there. It was not until third year that I got my own laptop.
Okay.
Then obviously my laptop we did a lot. But by the time I was in third year, and then you have to make this decision, because during those days, either the students were joining these software companies or they're going for MBA.
Okay.
So these used to be the trend, and somehow I was definitely interested in softwares a lot. But during those last 3 years, I have coded enough. So a lot of coding. I've done coding again, Visual Basic, then C, C++, Java, self-taught and everything I was doing. Even we used to do all these IBM DB2 and Oracle databases. Whatever was is like it became, because I was interested, so I will very quickly learn them and then start coding them or using them, things like that. So I got interested into then research. I was like, then what I want to do in computers is again something very deep.
Okay.
So by the time I was in final year, it was clear in my mind that I will not go for this coding kind of job, because you'll get a lot of feedback from your seniors, right?
Yes.
And when you talk to them, they're like, if you are thinking anything else, do that before coming to software jobs.
Okay.
That is the feedback I used to get. So all that culminated, and finally I landed in IIT Guwahati for my PhD.
So you have seen both IIT Guwahati and IIT Ropar.
Yes.
Which was better?
No, so we should not compare because see, IIT Ropar is still growing, still a new institute, I would say. IIT Guwahati, when I had joined, it is one of the new ones.
Oh.
Because it was, out of the 7, the oldest one, it was the youngest that time. So they used to call that a young IIT. When I joined here, this is the young IIT. So that feeling is same. But yeah, because when I was there, the institute had completed 20 years only around. So when I had joined, the institute had only completed around 16 years. Okay, yeah, 16 years around. So in my term only, it completed 20 years. It was not that old like IIT Ropar right now. So the campus was new. Campus is very beautiful. Maybe the way it is developed, IIT Ropar, because they have hills, they have lakes, nice scenery around Brahmaputra. So this one thing also, we discuss. Many of my colleagues here also from IIT Guwahati, and we discussed this. So there also IIT Guwahati is situated on the bank of Brahmaputra river.
Okay.
And IIT Ropar is situated on the bank of Satluj river. So this is one commonality we find.
Now let's talk about IIT Ropar. Describe how beautiful IIT Ropar is. Like the campus is vibrant, we have lakes, we have places. So yeah, what has been your experience to visit? And some travel, Shimla is so near, hill stations are so near. Have you ever been to these kind of hill stations?
Yes. So this is another attractive part about IIT Ropar. So I find that Ropar as a town is I don't know, less known but very well situated.
Correct.
Right. So from here, if I have to travel to Chandigarh Mohali, it's roughly 1 hour. If I have to travel to Ludhiana, 1.5 hours. If I have to travel to Patiala, or I have to travel to Jalandhar, that also 1.5 to 2 hours.
Correct.
So all these big cities of Punjab
Well connected.
is just within reach, and then all the hill stations. So you don't really have to struggle to go to a hill station. So during my initial days here, we explored a lot. So I remember I have never driven to on the hills, but I took my car and we went to because the roads have become so good. We went to Shimla, then from car we went to Kufri, then we went to Chal, and we came back. So we do the whole circuit. Even some of my colleagues have done very crazy circuits.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been to Manali, I've been to Kasol, I've been to Dharamshala.
Like this, whatever I would tell you the student's perspective, like whenever we are free, and consider this is Saturday morning and we are like kuch nahi hai karne ko, so that's like we are like chalo hill station chalte hain, because in our childhood days, like in summer vacations, we had to actually plan to go on a summer this hill station kind of thing, but now it's so within our reach that so now, yes. What is your vision about IIT Ropar and education that we are serving right now in coming 5 to 10 years, maybe?
So to be practical, I would really like to see IIT Ropar ranked at 7th or 8th IIT after the older ones.
Okay. We'll make
That is really where I think we should target, and somehow this message is there from the director also, and to the all faculty community. We understand this, and all of us are pushing for that as well. Somehow we are very good in research. We are well known in research.
Correct.
Actually. A lot of ranking says that we are doing very great in research, and we are always pushing the boundaries on that as well, right? So even across PhDs, I was very recently interacting with an MTech who had spent some time at IIT BHU and then spent some time here. He finished MTech here basically, and he himself was telling that research is more focused here than other institutes. Where we lack is somehow in perception.
Okay.
So people know very less about a place called Ropar, and there is an IIT.
I am from Haryana and I didn't know about Ropar for that
Same
matter.
for me. So you imagine that I'm in Singapore and I got this thing at IIT Ropar, and I'm telling people, and the first response is, oh, is it IIT Rohtak? Because Rohtak is a similar sounding place.
For that matter, we were in Chandigarh once and we told the guy we are from IIT Ropar. He's like, ITI Ropar.
Oh, ITI, so that always happen. Even with older IT, somebody will say ITI.
That's the worst experience. Like, for the thing we struggled, take care. For the thing we struggled so hard, like we cracked JEE to get into IIT, and you were thinking ITI Ropar. No.
Even for my spouse, so when I told her that I got into IT Ropar, even she thought that it is Rohtak, and she's from Delhi, so she was very happy because Rohtak is just very close to Delhi. So, but when I came here, I told her no, it is in Punjab, and you have to travel this far. Then she was like, oh, this is not what I had imagined. But finally, yeah. But after coming here, I remember initial days, you'll spend. So I had joined in October.
Okay.
And October before the winter, cold
Extreme
winter,
winter.
starts. Those few October and November, I would feel like I'm already in a hill station. Morning breeze will be really very cold, and nice weather.
I would
nice
say that
time.
the evenings are at their best here.
Yes.
The sunsets, the view, you would see all kind of colors of sky you would have never seen.
And even the birds.
Yeah.
The other day, I think I saw hummingbird here in the campus, small bird, flapping very fast. So yeah, all this natural beauty you get to see here, and this will grow again compared to Guwahati, because I've seen that institute growing like this. This will grow and will become more rich.
In everything. Like,
Yes. Right. So I had started a course on applied AI, but I could do it only one semester because after that one of our colleague left, and he used to teach machine learning. So then there is a bigger requirement or bigger ask for machine learning course. So then I with Dr. Shweta collaborated and we started teaching machine learning. So then I was teaching machine learning.
Which year is it?
So machine learning, I think
Third year, I guess.
it's open. It opens from third year, and for I think MNC student, it's also a core course in their third year. But it's taken by third year, final year, MTech,
As an
PhD.
elective. As an elective, right?
As an elective, not for also, like we have an MTech AI program here.
Yes, I know about
Yeah,
it.
so it is program core for them. So in ML we get 100 plus students anyway. This course runs across the institute from all departments. Students join. So it's a big course, massive course. So many students, and yeah. So we have been continuing. So I'm teaching AI. I was teaching ML. I started then on reinforcement learning. When I joined here, I was so much interested again in reinforcement learning. So then I spent some time on studying the material and everything, and then I started the course. I've been teaching reinforcement learning every alternate semester. This semester also we had a course on reinforcement learning. Then I recently taught data mining to these MSDSM students. So now we have this new program, right?
Amritsar. Yes.
So I was teaching data mining to those students. Yeah, so I've been involved with these variety of courses, which is mostly elective and AI, MLDL, all forms of it. But I got a chance in between to teach computer networks.
Okay.
yeah, I was very much interested in computer networks.
It is a course of 4th year, right?
Third year.
Third year.
Third year.
There was a senior who was mentioning that Shashi sir तो books का नाम ही पूछ लेते हैं 2 marks का question paper में.
हाँ, so that's always the bonus question.
Yes, exactly. She mentioned bonus question.
Yeah, because I know nobody opens books. So yeah, I'll put such bonus questions.
So this is a very fun segment that we do with all our guests, because all of them are so technologically inclined that this is a very general question. So this or that. Operating systems, Windows or Apple?
Apple.
Why?
So before an Apple user, I was Windows plus Linux user.
Okay.
With Windows, one issue that I used to face is every now and then you have to do a full reinstall.
Yes.
Right, because there are so many viruses, so many things here and there, and you know the struggle that you have to do once your system goes to sleep and comes back and your Wi-Fi is not connecting, by God, then.
And we are of a generation that we have no patience. Even for, when it is starting, we have shut the computer down and we are turning it on. I'm like, this time is not passing for me.
Right, so then when I switched to Apple, I started Apple with iPhones, okay. And then slowly made my move to MacBook and iMac and whatever. But yeah, one good thing is they are very flawless. Mm-hmm. So they just work and work and work. You don't really have to worry until they completely crash. When they crash, it's over.
Yeah.
But till that time,
I guess 4 to 5 years they suffice very well.
Yes, and like with their iPhones and laptops,
the connectivity,
battery also lasts. Like even with 1% battery, when I'm using iPhone, I was like, okay, mera kaam chal jayega. But that I cannot do with other phones or even Android and other things. So that is my reason that it makes me very efficient, and that is what I like about it.
So yeah, studying methods, group study or studying alone?
So both. I've been. So yeah, during college, schools, it used to be both group study and all. Now yeah, we do study, we keep on studying. Even now it happens both. So we still do group study. Couple of colleagues. We run reading groups. We sit together. We read papers together and we discuss about it. A lot of reading and again group studies happen with my PhD students, sitting and discussing material. But then there is a lot of, studying in silos where you have to brood over your own ideas, your own confusions, clear them out. So I think both is required.
Okay. So note taking, handwritten notes or digital notes like iPad notes?
Yes, I'm still on handwritten notes. Yeah, that grounds the symbols very nicely in my mind.
So you don't have any penchant for iPads and stuff?
No, I do use. So I like to keep variety around me. So I'm using MacBook, but then I have a Microsoft Surface. Okay. So yeah, because that is another thing. Somehow I feel like I should know about that technology as well, right? Or maybe I should know how to interact with that technology as well, so that I know the nuances.
And what if a student comes like, "Sir, ye chal nahi raha," you need to help him. So you need to know. So yeah, the softwares, open source or paid softwares.
Again, both. So again, it depends how good is the software.
Okay.
Right? Like you won't beat Microsoft Office. And nowadays mostly open softwares are even cloud softwares. So we use Overleaf.
Okay.
Overleaf a lot, but mostly we use
for the latex PDF.
Yeah, for the latex and PDF, because that is somehow we spend most of our time other than doing PPTs and other lectures and everything. And that's completely open source. Now, at least we use the free version of it, which is publicly available. So yeah, both. It depends what is the quality I'm getting.
Okay. So yeah, internships or research projects?
So with internships, exactly what do you mean?
Internships as in the internship that student pursues in the 3rd year. Like some project working in a company, and for research project under a professor. Like what do you prefer out of the two?
Okay, so that completely depends on what the students actually want, right? So again, I don't think that research projects are good for all students.
Okay.
And at the same time,
the vice versa.
yes. So I remember there was this student who worked with us. So he did the ML course and then he did some project in the course, and we liked how he approached the problem. And then we asked him that could you work further on this over this summer vacation. He said, yeah, I'd be interested, and he did that. And he did pretty good, and we published in a A-star conference finally. And he was neither my BTech students, BTP, nor a project, but he did very nice. So because he had that research aptitude, right?
He was a BTech student.
He was a BTech student.
What was his name?
Sagalpreet.
Okay.
So he was like, so I would love to do, any research project with that kind of student, right? But then not every student in the class will be of that aptitude. Their aptitudes are different. Some students are really very good at, delivering solution or developing solutions, right? Instead of putting their minds onto research is more patient and more technological.
Time consuming, yes. This is one thing that we had been discussing too. Like there's this recent trend that people follow, that for the first and second year they research under a professor, like in many colleges like IITs, and for the third year they go to internships under companies. So do you think that this kind of system helps them learn?
I'm not sure, because see, so even currently also there are students who are doing the internship with me, and I get these requests a lot that some student from second year, even sometime first year, coming to me, sir, we want to do a project with you. But for 99% of the time their goal is just to do anything with me to get a certificate, so that they have an entry in their CV that they have done.
You get an LOR and get done with it.
Yes. So that is mostly the intention. It is not like that I don't understand their intention, but sometimes if somebody is asking you, I don't feel denying, as like if you are interested, maybe you will get interested in the project. So I usually allow them. But if the whole intention is to just add entries in the CV, it doesn't work, right? So nothing works finally. Okay, maybe they have a very fulfilling CV, but since they have not done any job very honestly, they will not succeed that way.
Learning should be the main component.
Yes. So if somebody is coming who is really interested, and I have had those, even I had interns, not from our institute, from outside during COVID days, where he said that, I'm really not interested in whatever stuff they're teaching in my college, and I want to do, project with you. I said, you have to do this. And he worked with me for 6 months, and we did a research paper on whatever he could do.
Okay.
And those were days where even I was starting my research here at IIT, because I was also very new. So it was just the interest that is required, right? So anybody from anywhere then can do good stuff. And that is what I keep on telling the student. Please do the stuff that you really enjoy here. And you will naturally succeed. You are at an IIT, like what else is required to succeed, right?
And academic guidance, this is a hot selling topic. Seniors or professors?
Okay. Again, I'll say both. You have to find a balance. Okay, so obviously listen to your seniors, but do also listen to the professors. And you have to have this habit. I'm forgetting that doha. There's a nice doha on this. So you should listen to everyone, right? And then you decide what to keep and what to reject.
Correct.
Okay. Do that instead of just blindly following any specific thing. Nobody is entirely correct. And then things keeps on evolving. So whatever was true in my age is not true for your age, right? So things generation to generation, year to year keeps on changing. The kind of okay, so let me give. When I had joined the institute, I had never taught a course. So maybe whatever course I taught during those initial years or those initial semesters, maybe I didn't do a very good job compared to same me now teaching those courses 4 or 5 years.
Experience matters, of course.
Right. So that is what, right? So that means you listen to everyone and just you think what is right, what is wrong. Do use your mind.
That was so Mr. Universe answer. So yeah. There are so many myths around that we need to bust them. Okay. Since we are working in IT.
Okay.
IITians सिर्फ पढ़ते हैं. What is your
very wrong? बिल्कुल नहीं पढ़ते हैं.
Okay. Like एक दिन पहले काम करके जब अच्छे ग्रेड आ रहे हैं तो क्यों पढ़े हम लोग?
नहीं तो IITians बहुत पढ़ते हैं गलत है, बट हाँ IITians स्मार्ट होते हैं सही है। तो या दैट इज वेरी मच ट्रू, और इसीलिए एक दिन पहले पढ़ के ग्रेड आ जाता है।
Okay. Participating in extracurricular activities can negatively impact academic performance.
So it does impact in some sense if you don't find the right balance.
Balance, correct.
Yes. But again, you find your calling, right? So if you're okay with that impact, that means if you're going to be the president of the student council, you will be involved in so many activities that it is going to affect the way you are attending classes or you're understanding lecture. And वो एक दिन पहले करके you will definitely clear the course, but you will not be the topper of the course.
Correct.
Right, so you have to give away that top spot, and if you're okay with that, yeah, it's okay.
Like I remember from my days too, like in school, of course, everyone of us, like all people who join IIT were toppers, right? But now it's like you need to find that balance. You need to do everything. Like अगर आपको पांचों काम करने हैं, you can't be the topper, same topper again.
Yes.
But then it comes like 9 से ऊपर CG आ रही है, we are fine. We are doing.
So find what is sufficient for you, and that's enough.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why see, usually in all my courses, I don't force students to attend, but because I don't have this notion that only by attending my course, a student can understand that particular topic. Currently, there is internet, there is so many online courses going on, so many very good professors putting videos on YouTube. Even I follow some of them definitely because they are so seniors, right? So I don't have this notion that you really have to come to my class to attend the subject. As long as whatever different components I have in the course, you perform good there, you're good enough.
Okay.
Right?
So do you believe that AI can replace humans?
No, AI can't replace humans. Okay. Being a researcher in AI, okay.
Like research projects, like some questions even AI and ChatGPT like stuff can't answer, even the paid versions.
See, I tell you this, I usually start my AI class with this particular discussion only. And so when initially computers had come,
okay,
it was somewhere 60s, 70s. If you read the news articles and what people were writing during that time, you'll find that everywhere it is somehow written,
okay,
or people were showing this fear that now computers will take up all the jobs.
Oh.
Right? And same was true when maybe initially industrial revolution came. That now machines will take up all the jobs.
Okay.
Later machines became computers, now computers are becoming AI. But if you see the history, what has happened that definitely there is a shift of job because new skills were required. Right? And but this new skills with machines, with computers just increased all the productivity. Right? Made our life much easier, much better, and more connected. Right? So everything that that new technology coming up, it's not actually taking up job. There is definitely a shift of job. There is a new set of hot skills, as they call in corporate. That you will need to train yourself, and we as humans are good at it. Definitely there are few people who are on those border lines, right, before the switch happens, that get affected. Definitely that happens, but in general for the humankind, there is not such a grave danger.
Okay. CGPA is important for placements.
A minimum CGPA is definitely important.
What is that minimum?
So, well, I would say a 7.5 to 8 is a good one.
Okay.
To maintain at an IIT.
For everyone.
No, so let's say if you're not interested in corporates, just like maybe by the time you're in final year, you really want to explore something. Even let's say you are currently not interested, and 2 years down the line you get interested. So you go to corporate, you are not enjoying that life.
Okay.
Right? Whenever you're coming back to academics within those 2-3 years, your CGPA will again be looked into.
Correct.
And if you have maintained around 7 or 8, right, that definitely shows how serious you were when you were taking those
Correct.
courses, right? So if you're coming for a higher degree, you're coming for research, or you're coming for masters, then a seriousness with the courses reflects well on you, right? You don't have to defend yourself that much.
You have proved yourself, like
Yes.
you have proved your mettle in general.
Right. So if you just maintain that, your options are still open. You can still switch fields, switch professions without much struggle.
Correct. Every IIT student, this we had discussed, is a top ranker from their high school. Were you a top ranker, or were you the topper kind of stuff?
I was in school. yes. I was in school.
Were you able to continue that legacy in college?
Not throughout my college. So my BTech I did from MP, right? So because there used to be this MP's own exam, engineering entrance exam. I got in merit in that, so we went to college. But that college, after first year I was one of the toppers, and then first semester I was one of the toppers. And then my interest completely shifted. So again, same thing as you guys must also be discussing among your own peers, that what you have to do to really get those CGs in a course, and then where does your interest lie. So same thing hit me, and my interest was again more coding and creating projects, and so I completely shifted my whole focus this side instead of whatever is going in the courses.
Like correct, I would say that seniors are so helpful in that aspect. किसी भी course का, you just need old previous year question paper in some courses at least. Like I know a course, entire question paper was same from the previous semester, and even the professor had not even changed the year. The year was also same, and I'm like, wow. So yeah, one more thing, that's just for formality. Professors are very intelligent at IITs.
No, professors. Okay, again we have a mixed crowd. I will not say I am very intelligent, but all your professors have gone through this grill of PhD, so they're very serious with their work, and they're very serious with their job, whatever job they are really looking into. So if I'm teaching a course, and if it is a new course to me, and that will be happening with any professor, I'll be spending 4 to 5 hours to prepare just one lecture. Okay, so sometimes I'll spend the whole night just to take a lecture in the morning. So all of us are that patient and very rigor with our work. But yeah, definitely, I know you can see the profiles of many professors here at IIT Ropar, and they are super intelligent, I would say, right? You can see their pedigree, from where they come from and all that. So yeah, definitely that is also there. Some really very super smart professors are around. Not me, though. I'm still learning a lot.
Again, Miss Universe answer. So yeah. In a longer term, do you ever feel that there is a need to switch career for professors, in fact? Like, would you be ever changing your, like, any career aspirations or any career goals in a longer term?
So, this is the unique thing about IITs, and that is why, so I tell you, when I had joined my own PhD program, way back, so 2010 when I had joined, and
it is not that old.
Still 14 years, right? So that time it was very unheard of that anybody is joining PhD directly after BTech.
Yeah.
During those days, right? Even right now, I get to hear that people don't know much.
People don't know, yeah.
But that time it was completely unheard of.
Okay.
Right. So I was into the PhD program. Then if I meet anyone and I'll tell them that I'm doing PhD, immediate response that they will have is, "Oh, you're going to be a professor." And I'd say, no. Now there are so many other opportunities. I'll definitely join a corporate.
Okay.
So those few initial years,
like doing PhD and then joining a corporate.
Yes, because
that's actually very unheard of.
No, but when you join computer science, you get to know that doing a PhD, at least in computer science, is very much true. In all other disciplines also, it's very much true. You have this option that after finishing PhD, you can join a corporate.
Correct.
You can join a lab which is just focused on research. So you can just join a corporate research lab. And you can definitely join academia. So you have these three options and you can make this choice. Like I have had friends or juniors, right? They decided that academia is not their cup of tea. So they moved into R&D labs. Even some of them moved out of research and completely into corporate. Okay, because the job profiles fits you. And then another aspect, if you do a good quality research, you also become like a global citizen, because again you have these three open fields. So anywhere in the world, any country in the world, there's always some opportunity that you can go into. So for me it was also the same. Okay, I was dead sure. No professor, because I've heard so many people telling me that going to be a professor that time, and I was pretty young. So PhD happened. I went to corporate. I didn't like it. So within 6 months, I was like, no, it's actually very boring for me, and maybe I also didn't like the hustle of the city. So I was going from Guwahati, nice and serene place for these many years. And then I moved into a research lab in Singapore. There I really enjoyed the work. We did very good work. So I'm a person who likes to do research, and I also like my research to get used somewhere, or something in action. If that is something shown in action, then I really feel good about that, whatever I'm doing. Singapore, we did that a lot. And Singapore as a city, as a country also gives you those kind of opportunities.
I have only known Singapore for its chocolates.
And then, but by that time I had realized that, the kind of open variety of opportunities you get in a research institute like an IIT in India. Okay. So then, I was thinking anyway, and I had already told you how I come back. So being a professor at an IIT, you can devote yourself to teaching. You can simply do teaching if you really enjoy it, right? You can devote yourself to pure research. You can keep on doing research and keep on doing world-class publications. And you can also devote yourself to entrepreneurship, startups and consultancies. So you can really, like a lot of colleagues here, even I do some bit of it, collaborate with a lot of industry where they are collaborating and developing solutions with the industry directly, right? So the thing is, all these opportunities are here happening with you. And IIT is such a dynamic system, I tell you. There's nothing like a missed opportunity, at least for faculties in IIT. Okay, so there's some call, some opportunity came, and you submitted a proposal or something. For some reason, it didn't get through or whatever. And within 2 months there is another call. Somebody is again approaching IIT, and then so this keeps on happening. And so the student population, that is also a big energy factor for all the faculties. Because whenever a batch graduates, we also feel little down that we have taught those students. Or see, even the student, they never talk to you, or they attended some semester one course, and after that, even you cross, it's okay, they never say hi, hello. But you've seen that student throughout those 4 years, everybody notes. So when they graduate, you feel a low, but at just 2 months, and then there is a new batch coming, and there's a whole new energy in the campus. Even faculty gets energized with that. So because it is such a dynamic system, it is completely opposite of what I had thought when before joining an IT system. Because before joining academia, people will say, oh, you have to teach one course every semester.
How boring.
That is so boring. But after coming here, everything is so dynamic. Every new batch with the same course is so different. So yeah, I really enjoy, and so that is one reason that there is very likely chance I see myself moving somewhere. But I don't know what future holds.
Correct. So yeah, what according to you sets IIT Ropar apart from other institutions? Like any differential, factor that we have, any USP? So
maybe I think one thing is definitely the place. So I tell you, another reason of me only preferring IIT Ropar against other IITs, because when I was coming back, I was applying to other IITs. So in the current world, travel has also become very important. Okay, so when I was looking for IITs, I was also checking how far is the airport. Okay, because there are many IITs where really to get to an airport you really have to travel a long distance, and if you are a frequent or you like to travel or you want to be to a lot of places, like we faculty we come out traveling to conferences and all. Vicinity to an airport was one of my key criteria to select an IIT. So that I found that Ropar is very nicely placed that way also, because Chandigarh is again far but not so far, right? Even I go to Mandi, and for them also the only city that they talk about or they plan their things is Chandigarh. So wow. They always calculate that, okay, so for them I think to reach Chandigarh it's now 3 to 4 hours because of the new road and everything. So all their calculation happens like, okay, 4 hours to Chandigarh, then what? So that is how they calculate their journey. So that was one of the criteria. And then, as you had mentioned, the places around Ropar, right? Third thing is the focus of IIT Ropar on research.
Correct.
Right? Like IIT Ropar again is the only IIT who got a director from Sweden who is a very renowned researcher in himself. Right? No other IIT has it. Right?
Okay.
So if you really want to look a research culture, you want to experience a research culture, being a graduate student, right? This is the place actually. You get to see the research very quickly in your whole BTech curriculum program, which is may not be that aggressive at other IITs.
One thing that I particularly feel is we have very young professors. Yes. Like who match our energy, like who can sit with us at 9:30 around for a podcast, I think, who will have coffee with us. There are some professors who play cricket with the students here. So as cricket topic turns up, do you have any other hobbies other than technology and stuff? Any other hobbies?
I used to play a lot of badminton. I swim. I was running a lot. I had run few
marathons.
Not full marathons, but quarter marathons kind of stuff. Yeah, I could not practice beyond that. So yes, these are other things I
Any
enjoy.
movie plans or any something like that?
Yeah, movies, usually with family I'll go. But yeah, I definitely do a lot of, like to watch a lot of shows.
Web series.
Yes, web series nowadays. So like I think that's Panchayat was a series.
Oh, you watched it?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, whatever we get on Netflix and Prime. Yeah, definitely I'd like to watch that.
Okay, so any message for our viewers about IIT Ropar or the initiative that we are running, or how you find IIT Ropar, or why should they join IIT Ropar? So what kind of culture they are going to experience there?
Right. So again, IIT Ropar is a great place to be, very nicely located, and if you really want to enjoy the hills, this is the place you should come to, right? Along with that, as you mentioned, right, we have a very young and vibrant faculty here.
Yet experienced.
Right. So this is another thing that when we interact with industry, the industry sees in us. That's why a lot of projects are coming to IIT Ropar. We are also only one of the unique IITs who have a center for defense research. And in that center now we are interacting with all the Northern Command, Western Command, R-Track. So there are 3-4 these army commands nearby, right? And we are the only IIT who are interacting with them, and we are collaborating with them in solving problems for the army, problems for Air Force, and even for Navy. So we have MOUs in place with all these defense forces. Right, so you see a lot of vibrancy in this system, and a lot of quick turn of things are happening at IIT. So in this December we have already started our drone training. So we are training drone pilots here. I'm also accountable manager there, So you think of an idea and that idea gets converted into something actionable very fast at IIT Ropar.
Yeah.
That only not industry is realizing, even I told you, defense forces are realizing, even the government is realizing.
Correct.
Right? So if you want to see all these happening around you, IIT Ropar is the place.
That was a really fun conversation with you. Thank you for joining us. Until we meet next, bye-bye.